here. Bear with me a second. I'm not sure if this is connected. Okay. Hello, sorry. I don't think the camera's connected, so it's just the laptop like shining out. Yeah. It doesn't do anything when I move the camera. Obviously we could put the laptop there, but I don't know if you know how to, unless it needs turning on. Morning. All right. Any injuries or anything I need to know about? Good. Great. Thank you. Okay. Just take it at your own pace. Obviously, it's a strong-ish class, but everyone's a bit medium today, so yeah. Okay.
My muscles are going to be too pleasing.
Yeah. Okay. See how you go. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Nice. Great. Yeah, no problem.
I don't know what's going on with this. Because I think that if I end the stream, then it will cause all kinds of problems. But
yeah,
at least we're up high.
Is it worth putting blocks here and doing it at like a diagonal? Sorry, everyone. Stick it on there just so that you can get my max if I'm lying down and doing core. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah. Not going to see my head for much of that. No. I can stay towards the back and move this mat back a little bit as well, if that helps. Maybe I'll just have to lift it up a bit when we do standing stuff. Bit better. Taking me back to the lockdown days, piling it up on my bed with all the things. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be low for the first half an hour anyways, and I'll try and move it around a bit. Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Okay, so we are going to start lying down, but a little bit more active than where most of you are at. So bring your feet up towards your body, as if you're going to come into a bridge pose, but we're just resting. And if you feel like you need a bit more support, you can always bring your feet wide and draw your knees together as well. So also if you're feeling anything in your lower back here. So just find somewhere here that's active but restful. Just finding that balance between being a little bit more awake in the body and landing here on your back. And you can either bring the hands onto the belly or either side of the body, whatever feels most intuitive in your body. And we'll just land here for a moment with the breath. Just taking a few moments to arrive in this practice and arrive in your body. And gently drawing the shoulders down. It's okay. Just gently drawing your shoulders down away from the ears, creating lots of space around your neck and your jaw. And really inviting that body to soften. So maybe that is welcome with an out breath. A nice exhale, just drawing your body deeper towards the mat. And feeling this sense of landing, connecting to the earth and moving into the space where your body feels supported by the ground beneath you and by this practice. And just having a little check-in with your physical body and taking a scan around your body and just noticing how you feel today, how your physical body is feeling. And maybe there's some little aches and pains that you're already aware of. Maybe you slept a bit funny. Or maybe the body's feeling particularly easeful and bright this morning. So just acknowledging what's here and really welcoming all of that, welcoming all of you into this practice. The space that we have to deepen the connection and conversation with our body, and moving from that space, moving from a space of being kind to ourselves with compassionate inquiry. So if there's anywhere in your body, any sensations or any parts of your body that might be calling your attention, just bring in your awareness there. Bring in your awareness there and inviting your breath to move towards that place. And if you're not sure or nothing comes to mind, then just bring in the breath into your belly. Soften your chest, soften your heart space, allowing the back of your heart to soften towards the mat. And let the breath start to move towards the belly. And deepen your breath. As you move, a gentle inhale, a softening exhale, finding this feeling of searching for an edge at the end of your in-breath. So you're starting to meet those edges gently. And then exhale, just letting it soften. So find a little rhythm here with your breath. And this is kind of where we start our movement, this movement in stillness. And starting to move into the muscles either side of your spine on the back body with the breath. Sending the breath into the muscles in between your ribs, into the intercostals. We've got 3 layers of muscles in there. So breath is such a powerful tool for starting to open up these spaces that can get really tight from habitual movement and also our habitual breath patterns. So bringing awareness and consciousness to your breath. If it feels intuitive to work with a soft ujjayi breath, then you can welcome that. Otherwise, just staying with your rhythm. We'll be here for just a moment longer. And as you focus on the breath, it's being aware of your emotional body, the quality of mind, or anything else that might be buzzing around in there today, anything that you are here with, and a moment to welcome that into this practice, welcoming everything that you are. So meeting this practice with this flowing breath, your rhythm, and we will let the breath carry us through today. So just start by reaching your hands above your head and lengthening your legs down the mat, coming into a full body stretch, and just having a little wiggle out through the hips. Spread your toes nice and wide, open up through the soles of your feet. Reach your fingers away from your toes. And then bringing the knees back over the chest, drawing the knees down, lengthening the lower back. Nice out breath here. Letting the belly soften. And then bringing the knees above the hips. You can bring your legs together like this, so feet are parallel. You can bring the inner seam of the legs to touch. And take your arms out into a T shape, so your shoulders are planted down on the floor. And notice if your lower back is arched a little bit and your ribs are sticking up, and see if you can just draw your lower ribs down towards the mat so that your back is really firmly planted down. And then moving with the breath, we're going to inhale, drawing the knees to the side, hovering the knees 2 inches off the floor, and then exhale to come back up. And then take it to the other side. Inhale, drawing the knees down, and then exhale to come back up. Or you can take it in one breath, going from side to side. So whatever rhythm suits you, whether you need a longer breath or a shorter breath, just find a little flow here, gently moving from left to right. And if it feels like the spine gets a little bit stiff and tight as you move towards the mat, then just take these a little bit kind of less into a twist. So just work at a pace that feels good for you. So we're slowly bringing a little bit of strength into the belly and starting to connect the movement with breath. And as you keep the shoulders planted on the floor and the lower ribs supported, maybe there's a little opening there in the chest as well. Great, let's bring the knees back up to center, bringing them back down towards your body once more. And then on the inhale, bringing the legs back up. So again, legs together and the shins are parallel with the mat. Reach your arms overhead and then lift your shoulders off the floor and plant your belly down onto the mat. We're going to keep the arms extended as you inhale, reaching the knees away for you. And then exhale, bringing the knees back up and bringing the hands forward. Really great. So 4 more of these. As you lengthen the body, push the lower back down. Exhale, knees back over hips. Really great. 3 more of those in your own time. So press the belly down as you extend and press the belly down as you bring the knees back in. Really great. 2 more of those. Staying nice and steady with the breath. You've got this. Keep the knees squeezing together. Keep reaching out, extending through your toes. Really great. Knees to chest. We're going to rock and roll. We'll take a few of these. So just warming up through the spine. And then on your next one, being really gentle, plant the hands down and pop the feet over your head. If you don't touch the floor, don't worry. We're going to squeeze the thighs towards the belly, draw the belly in, and just roll yourself back down onto the mat. So just lengthening there through the back of the legs. Really great. And then one more rock and roll, coming up towards seated. I'll come to face you. And then taking your left leg in towards the body like this and lifting through your spine. So feel that elevation in your spine first. And then taking your right leg up and bringing your fingertips around the front of the foot there. Really great. And then from here, just start to press the foot into the hands. Keep the shoulders drawing down the back. So really glide them down. Yeah, so you're really supported there. And then take your hand onto the outside of the foot. Reaching the opposite arm up. Keep lifting through your spine. And then take a little twist and turn towards the back of the mat. Yeah, really great. Have a look at your front leg and make sure that it's still in line. Yeah, really great. Keep lifting through the spine. With that shoulder drawing down the back, the left shoulder, maybe you can start to extend the leg into this little twist, but make sure that your spine stays long. So we're either staying with a bent leg or you can extend a little. Really great. And then releasing that leg down. Let's bring it out to the side. You can keep this left foot towards the thigh. Reaching the arms up on your inhale. As you exhale, turn towards that leg and fold. And we're going to move with this. So start to come back up on the in-breath. Take the hand behind you, plant it down. Lift the hips up, squeeze your glutes to open the front of the hip. And then exhale, press into the hand to come back down. Reach the arms up. 1 more of those. Exhale. Inhale to come back up. Plant the hand down. Lift the hips. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, coming back down onto the mat. Switching the legs. So we'll find this little twist on the other side. Bringing the hands around the sole of the foot. So shoulders down the back. Feel that elevation in the spine first. And then bring the foot up. Reaching out through your toes. Taking the hand onto the outside of the foot. So opposite hand. And then lengthen the spine as you reach up, up, up. So keeping this foot where it is. See if you can keep this leg here rather than coming across the body as you start to turn. And open your body towards the back of the mat. Keep pressing down through your sit bones and lifting your spine up from that space. Yeah. Soft jaws, soft shoulders, and maybe extending that leg if the spine stays long. Good. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, extending the leg. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, taking that right hand behind, press into the earth, reach the hands up. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale to come back down. 1 more of those. Inhale to extend, turn, exhale. Inhale to lift, and then exhale. Good. On your out breath, coming back down. Really nice. Let's come onto hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, just moving into your spine a little bit. So a little bit of cat-cow. As you inhale, lift through the heart. As you exhale, push the ground away. Make sure that the toes are tucked under, spread the fingertips nice and wide, and press into all of your fingertips so you really feel that connection between the sole of your hands and the shoulders. And you can stay with this kind of linear cat, or if it feels good to just wiggle around a bit and just feel into your edges. And you can take a little bit of intuitive movement here with the breath. Make sure that the head is staying relatively neutral rather than dropping the head down. So again, we've just got that sense of integrity in the body as we move. Great, and then coming back to a neutral position, sticking your right leg back and then your left leg coming into plank pose. Shoulders down the back, push the ground away. Press out through your heels, squeeze your thighs towards your belly. So at any point that we're in plank, you can always come down onto your knees. We're going to inhale, coming down halfway, exhale, pressing back to plank, downward facing dog. Moving through a few of these, so let's inhale to come forward. Exhale, halfway, chaturanga push-up, send it back, downward facing dog. So a couple more of those in your own time. As you come into chaturanga halfway, really squeeze the elbows towards the side body. Good. So the next time you come forward into plank, again, squeezing those elbows in, shoulders come down the back. You can take the knees down if you need, coming down onto your belly. And then bringing the elbows underneath the body, Sphinx pose. Lengthen your legs behind you, 1, 2. Spread the toes, press them down, tuck your tailbone. Roll the shoulders back and start to peel your heart forward. Finding your breath here. And just getting a feel for the muscles either side of your spine. So bringing your awareness to your mid-back. And use these muscles to help lift through your heart, but also finding a softening here as well. On your next exhale, coming down. So bringing the elbows wide, bringing the head down, and then untucking the toes, And we're going to take 5 little pulses with the legs. So squeeze the back of the legs and lift the legs up, reach out through your toes, and then bringing it back down. So 4 more of those. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. 3 more on your own time. So squeeze your glutes, squeeze the back of the legs. Yeah, really great. Nice and strong. So good. And then we're going to lengthen the arms out in front, keeping the legs down. So the arms are in a little V shape. And think about moving from the back of your shoulder blades, this place here. So as we lift, we're going to lift the head in line with the arms, and then exhale to come down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. So 3 more of those. Really reaching your fingertips away from you. So we're looking at finding length in the spine. So reach fingertips away from the feet. And at the moment, we're keeping the feet on the ground. So we're going to do both together in just a moment. Yeah, really great. So 1 more of those. And then on the next one, we're going to take right arm and left leg. So lift and lower. So just 3 of these. Right arm, left leg. So we start to work into the cross body. So think about drawing your back of your right shoulder towards the left hip. And then 3 on the other side. Left arm, right leg. Stay nice and connected with that breath. Really thinking about drawing the shoulder blade back and opening up through your back body. And then last one, we're going to do 3 together. Reaching the hands up, reaching out through your toes, and then coming back down. Really great. 2 more of those in your own time. And be so strong in your back body. Good. And then last little one, you can either have a rest, or if you're feeling cool to do this one, you can grab the feet, roll the shoulders back first. So really find that opening in your heart space, and then press the feet into the hands to help open through the front body. And find your breath here. Soften your jaw. Soft intention, strong body. Good. Release. Coming back down. You can just bring the hands under your forehead and have a little wiggle there on your lower back. And then bringing the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, scoop your belly up, and then press into the hands and press it back into a child's pose, but keep your toes tucked. So a little toe stretch here, opening out the soles of the feet, reaching the hands away from you, and letting the armpits soften down towards the mat. And just breathing into your mid-back, your lower back, or anywhere else that you may be feeling sensation in the body that you feel could use a little bit more openness from the power of the breath. Really great. And then from this position here, we'll press back up towards plank. And then come into a downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. Press the fingertips away from the feet. And just have a little stretch, maybe padding out through the heels. Having a little wiggle if stillness feels more intuitive for you right now, then just stay here, just building a little bit of strength. So with your hands, spreading your hands nice and wide, spreading your fingertips nice and wide, and pressing down through all of your fingertips and your knuckles, your index finger knuckle connected down onto the mat. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears, creating space, and then externally rotating your arms so that it's this kind of hugging of the armpits towards each other to help support through the body. And then we'll lift that right leg up, coming into a three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip over to the left. Notice if that right shoulder lifts, so keep drawing the right shoulder down towards the mat and keep squeezing the armpits onto the side body so your muscles are strong and supporting this openness. Spread your toes, really reaching out through the soles of the feet. Great. And then inhale, bringing that right leg back towards a central position. As you exhale, knee to nose, draw the shoulders forward, push the ground away, squeeze the knee towards your belly. Inhale, sending the right leg back up. 2 more of those. Exhale, knee to chest, move it forward, push the ground away, squeeze leg to belly. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. We'll take a little push up here. And then step it through. Well done. Left knee comes down. So just finding this gentle lunge with your fingertips on the mat first. So as your fingertips are here, really use them to roll the shoulders back and feel this long spine. Press into your feet and then reach the arms up. So push the ground away. Pull your feet apart and then lift your heels in and up. So you feel this kind of down and out and then this inner lift through the pelvis. Soft shoulders, think about lifting from your elbows so it allows the upper traps to soften. And then from here, extending into your arms and your spine. So really lengthen your spine, take a little turn to your right. Opening the arms, soft shoulders, soft jaw. Keep finding that breath. Noticing the quality of the breath as you move. So if the breath becomes a little bit challenging, just find a bit more softness in the practice. Let's inhale, coming back to center, reaching those arms up, and then bringing the hands down onto the knee. So I'm going to interlace the fingers like this onto the front of the knee. Roll the shoulders back and down again, and draw your ribs away from your t-shirt so you find that hollow position. Breath in. As you exhale, lift the back knee 2 inches and push the heel away from you. So think about pressing the mat down and then extending that heel back. Finding the breath here, nice strong legs. Good, exhale, bringing that left knee back down. Hands under shoulders, and then scooping that right leg up and back, bend the knee, open the hip over to the left. Here, coming back down, downward facing dog. Have a little wiggle if you need to. Really great, and then have a little look. I'm going to take my left elbow underneath the shoulder like this. So bringing the left elbow down and really tuck it in. So some of you, your elbows are out here. See if you can get it right under the shoulder there. So that's option 1, this position here. Option 2, take your right hand and bring it out to the side in a little tent. And then press the fingertips down so the shoulders are really strong. Yeah, you got this. That's it. Option 3, lifting the left leg up. Little balance. The gaze is just towards your left elbow, but in the middle. Really great. Downward facing dog. Let's bring it back. You can either have a little rest here. If you need a child's pose for a minute, you can just let the body soften. Or you can have a little wiggle in a tabletop. Yeah, it's a bit warm, isn't it? Let's recalibrate with your breath. Good, second side. So just coming back to downward dog when you're ready. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip over to the right. So again, as you open that hip, keep drawing the left shoulder down. And draw your belly in and up. Keep pressing down through all of your fingertips. On your next inhale, lengthen that leg back to a central position. And then exhale, knee to chest. Push, ground away, squeeze side to belly. 2 more of those in your own time. Reaching that leg behind, extend. Exhale, draw in and up. Really great. So on this next one, we're going to step it through. So finding that low lunge first with your fingertips. So it's really great for just feeling into your foundation. Roll shoulders back and peel the heart forward. And then from this place with your long spine, press into the feet and reach the arms up, keeping these muscles here, your traps really soft and lifting from your elbows. Press the feet down and up and then squeeze your heels towards each other. Nice long spine. Inhale, really extending, reaching your heart up as you exhale. Turn, keeping that length in your spine. Soft shoulders. So it's like your left hip is drawing away from your right fingertips. Keep your gaze gently lifted. Really good. Good. And then inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, bringing the hands down onto the knee. Breath in. Exhale, shoulders down the back, ribs in, and then extend. On your exhale, bringing that back leg back. Really great. Pressing the feet down into the mat. And then as you push out through the heel, that's where the strength comes in. Good. Exhale, coming back down onto the knee. Hands under shoulders, reaching your left leg all the way up and back. Again, bend the knee, open the hip over to the right. And then coming back downward facing dog. Having a little wiggle here. Yeah, taking a little sigh out through the mouth. That feels good to release some of that energy. Or maybe it's about keeping it in and continuing to build that heat in the body. So we can try a little balance on the other side. So firm up through your left hand and your feet, and then take your right elbow underneath the right shoulder there. Really great. And then if that feels good, you can bring your left fingertips out in line with your breastbone like a little tent. That's it. And then press the fingers down. So when you push the fingers down, you'll feel the strength in the shoulder. And then maybe lifting that right leg. The gaze is just gently forwards. No straining on the neck. Just find a softness here. Good. And then downward facing dog. Or you can press back to a little child's pose or a tabletop. You can have a wiggle here if you want to keep moving, but not in a downward dog. Again, a moment to recalibrate with your breath. All right. So from here, we'll make our way back to downward dog, and then we'll come towards a forward fold. So you can start to walk the feet forward. Make sure your feet are hip width apart, so you can measure that with your 2 knuckles of or the 2 fists of your hand in between your foot knuckles. And then just bend the knees a lot so your belly falls down onto your thighs. And relax the crown of the head down. So just stay in this kind of Soft forward fold for a moment. We'll just feel into a little bit of softness here, just balancing the strength, a moment to just really release through those shoulders. If it feels good to just kind of bounce the hips and soften the shoulders, or sway the arms from side to side, then you can do that. Or you can just stay in that stillness and hang for a moment. So with the belly falling onto the thighs, you're going to slowly come up halfway. So as you come up, press your feet into the mat. And inhale, and then as you come up halfway, roll your spine so your heart peels forward. And then exhale, soften. One more of those. Inhale halfway. Exhale. This time we're going to come all the way up to standing. Inhale, roll the belly up. Reach your arms wide. So reach your arms up towards the ceiling and come up onto your tiptoes. Squeeze your glutes. So draw your tailbone down, squeeze your glutes, and then draw your thighs towards your belly. And then as you exhale, we're going to come back down into the fold. So 2 halfway lifts again. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften. So nice spinal waves. Inhale. Exhale, release. And then coming all the way up onto your tiptoes. Pull the belly in and up. As you reach your fingers away from your toes, squeeze your thighs, tuck your tailbone down, squeeze your bum, and then exhale. Soften. Really great. And then just slowly rolling up to standing as you arriving standing, maybe rolling through the shoulders a little bit. And finding a little bit of softness here, maybe shaking them out if you need to. And then we'll move into some standing postures. So let's take the weight onto the left leg and just find that balance with the right. Yeah, really great. So as we balance on that foot to reach the one out to the side, we have to shift the weight to the left a little bit. So there's a little bit of a weight shift in the upper body. So really feeling the firmness through that left foot, bringing your right leg up, keep your tailbone down, squeeze your thigh towards your belly, and then extend the leg out in front. Really great. See if you can stay nice and soft in the upper body, and then maybe reaching the arms up. So notice when I reach the arms up, the ribs stay down, so I'm not kind of like overarching. I'm really keeping in that flat back position. And then from here, we can slowly hinge at the hip, and then maybe taking it into a warrior 3. Again, keeping the ribs drawing in and up and extending the fingers away from the toes. You can take a soft bend into that left knee if that really helps you stay aligned. If at any point you need to just support yourself, you can bring the hands to heart, and you can also take this position with the blocks underneath your chest as well. So there's this feeling here of your inner thighs just rolling towards each other. So this right hip is just gently rolling down into alignment. So from here, we're going to come back up to standing again. So press into that standing leg. You can bend the knee really gently if you need to. Extending that leg up. And then exhale, reaching away with your toes. So good. Let's come back. So warrior 3. So again, you can bring hands to heart at any point. Keep reaching fingers away from toes. And then from here, we're going to bend that standing leg. Look for the floor behind you with your toes. Plant it down and then lengthen that left leg. So it's coming into like a pyramid pose. And then grab your blocks. Sorry, I should have got them set up first. And then grab your blocks and bring them either side of that front foot there. And you can just come into like a little pyramid stretch here. So I like to keep my upper body nice and straight. And then from here, it's that feeling of peeling your heart forward again as well. So roll the shoulders back and really lengthen your spine, reaching the crown of the head away from you. So just lengthening into the back of this left leg or anywhere else you might feel it. You might feel it in the glutes or your lower back or anywhere else. And then take the weight into the right hand here. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, turn and lift that left arm up. And see if you can keep the left hip drawing up. Don't let it swing out to the side. Nice little stretch. Good, and then exhale, bringing that hand down. So let's take a little break for this left leg. So let's come back into a downward dog from this position here and just wiggle it out. And then from here, we'll roll forward into a plank. A little half push up, send it back, downward facing dog. And then you can either do that again, or if it feels good to come through like a little vinyasa, coming all the way down, little cobra, and then send it back, downward dog. So just to release in the hip and get those legs moving again. And then from here, we'll take a little jump to the hands, or you can just step, coming back towards our forward fold. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften onto the thighs. Come all the way up to standing, pressing into your feet. Reach the arms up. Come up onto your toes, squeeze your belly, squeeze your glutes. And then exhale, just coming back down to standing. Release the arms, soften your shoulders. And then second side. So again, just feeling that weight transfer onto the other foot. Just letting the weight shift, feeling that balance. So if the foot, when you come to stand on it, starts to like wobble around, see if you can catch it before it wobbles. And just find that place of balance, and then start to bring that left knee up. Tailbone down, ribs back, thigh to belly. Reach the arms up, and then extending the leg out in front. It's my bad side, my learning side. We've all got one. Good, and then from here, starting to lengthen that leg back, reaching the arms out in front. Really extend fingertips away from toes, rolling that left thigh down towards the right. Good, and then slowly coming back towards standing, reaching the leg up, finding that balance. You can take hands to heart at any point, and then taking it back. Balancing warrior three once more, really reaching fingers away from feet. So imagine that you've got a wall behind you and you're really pressing out into that wall, feeling that resistance and strength, creating a container in your body. And then start to bend that right leg. Let the toes search for the floor behind you. Grab your blocks. And then from here, you can extend into that right leg and then find your little pyramid stretch here again as well. So nice straight spine. So really think about peeling the heart through and then letting the crown of your head or the neck be an extension in that straight, in that nice long line. So really reaching forward from here. Yeah, that's it. More of that. Yeah. Good. Sending your breath towards anywhere that you feel it. Lengthening into the back of your legs. Strengthening into those hips. And then what we'll do is take the weight into the left hand. Make sure the shoulder is wrapped down the back for support, and then reaching the right arm up. As you do that, keep the right hip back. If the right hip wants to swing out, just go as far as it will go without the hip moving. And then sending your breath there. Good, exhale, bringing that hand back down. We'll send it back, downward facing dog. So again, you can move into a bit of stillness or a child's pose, or you can take a couple of vinyasas here if you want to keep it flowing. A little back bend, and then back to downward dog. So just whatever your body is calling you for. Yes, and then we'll meet in child's pose for a moment. Just when you're ready. Letting your armpits soften towards the mat. If there's any tension in your shoulders, you can try bringing the arms a little bit wider. letting your forehead soften onto the mat, reconnecting with your breath. Good, and then from here, bringing the arms kind of more out in front of you like this. So make your dog a bit more, your child's pose a bit more active. Actually, let's tuck the toes as well if your toes aren't tucked, if that's comfortable. And then with the arms outstretched, you can bring your head in line with the arms. Just gently start to move from left to right. And that's hopefully a nice little stretch there in the shoulders and the side body. You can play with letting the ribs kind of draw down to the mat or keeping them sucked in and up. So either way will have a slightly different effect on the body. Good, and then from here we're going to move up towards a tabletop position and then setting up for some dolphin pose. So coming down onto the forearms, and we'll start with a block actually. So grab a block and bring it in between your hands like this. So you've got like two L shapes either side. And then the elbows, you want them to be directly under your shoulders, which is quite often, it feels a little bit more in than we think. And then from this position here, roll the shoulders back. So plant them down the back, draw the belly in and up, take a breath in. And as you exhale, press the elbows down, press the fingertips down, and then lift the shoulders up and back. I like to keep a little bend in my knees here, just to feel that length in my back first. And then I only let the legs extend if I can still kind of keep that length in my spine. Yeah. So I would say keep your knees bent here and then open up from the shoulder from this place here. Yeah, really good. Draw your belly in and up. That's it there. Good. So think about opening your armpit towards your hips. And your gaze is just in between your hands with a soft neck. So you can choose to come down at any point. You can take a little rest here. You can stay here for a couple more breaths. And then maybe reaching up with the right leg, extending the right leg out. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. Keep squeezing your glute as well. So the leg only comes as high as it does when the glute is active. So we're not opening the hip, we're just lifting the leg directly behind. And then you can bring the right leg down. Yeah, have a rest in between if you want before you go on to the other side. And then just take it into the other side when you're ready. So dolphin's one of those places that I really like to build like strength and endurance in my shoulders with the breath, keeping the legs up. So just work to where it feels comfortable for you to spend time here. And then again, coming into rest when you're ready. Great. All right, let's slowly come back towards tabletop. How's everyone doing? I'm feeling a sense of knackered in the room. Is everyone, give me a medium, middle, or high? All right? Yeah. I wonder whether to work into a little bit of mobility for the last 5 minutes before we come into cool down. So let's go into this position here. So we'll bring left leg forward, right leg behind in this little kind of call it a 90-90. And if your hips are quite tight, this might not feel the best, but it's really great for tight hips. So these are the things that I've been working into to really help support mobility in my hips over the last year or so. So from this position here, you can use your fingertips for support. We're going to turn the spine so that we're facing forward, and then start to lean down, Bring your fingertips out to the side and then post your other hand through and underneath. Other way, so you're going towards the bent knee. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So there's a really nice rotation on the spine. And then as you come up to center, take the hands behind you, lift the knees up and over to the other side, so you will face the back of the room. And then take this right hand out to the side again, and then post the left one underneath. Really good. That's it. And then we'll start to flow with that. So as you inhale, come back to center, hands behind, shuffle your legs the other way, and then posting that hand through again. Yeah, really good. So just start to take a few of these with your own rhythm. If you don't use the fingertips for support, you'll find that you'll start moving across the room a little bit. So you kind of need to feel some sort of engagement in your hips or your hands to really help support you stay on the mat. Obviously, it doesn't matter if you move at all. Sometimes it gets a little bit awkward when you start shuffling towards each other. So I quite like doing this one in the morning as well. It's really nice for just waking up the spine and getting any kind of snap, crackle, and pops out. Maybe not snaps, but crackle and pops, definitely good. So when we work with mobility, it's a really nice way of reminding your joints of like how big they are, if that makes sense. So you're opening up that space and then moving into that space. Great. So the next time you come forward, we're going to land forward. And then coming into this position here. So it's like a froggy with your toes out to the side. So you might need to stagger yourself a little bit. And again, if you've got grizzly hips, this one can feel a bit grizzly, but it is really, really good for working into mobility here. So take your fingertips behind you and flex your feet. And we'll start with the right foot. So we're going to lift the heel up, come onto the ball of the foot. It's a bit of a challenge. And then keep your hips grounded as much as you can as you draw that leg in. And then when it gets to the point where you can't bring that knee in anymore, then come down so you can move your left foot and then bring the hips down to the side. Does that make sense? Great. And then from here, keep your hips still, move the knee first. So this is an external rotation. When it gets stuck, then bring the hips to the center. All right, so second side, so keep the hips still, come onto the ball of the foot, and then bring that knee in. So this is internal rotation. Then drop the knees down, and then external rotation, keep the hips still, come up onto the ball of the foot, and then start to swivel it back as you bring the hips back into center. Make sense? Great. So we'll do that a couple more rounds. So moving the knee first, and then bringing the hips down, moving the knee first, and then coming back through center, and then moving the knee down, keeping the hips still. Oh, it's horrible. Knee down. Is anyone else feeling it a bit? And then bringing the knee out, and then coming back through center. We'll do one more on each side, bringing that toe down, knee, hips, knee, hips, knee. So good. I feel the concentration in the room. Knee, hips. Great. And then just lengthen your legs out. You can wiggle your toes. So again, this is really gentle internal, external rotation, just to release that. And then we'll come into a quick butterfly, and we'll do a little bit of that as well, just to release the hips. Yeah, when my hips get super tight, I quite often feel it in my knees. I don't know if anyone gets that, but all of this like kind of mobility work has been really helpful for releasing that kind of pain and transfer of tight hips. So we'll come into a little forward fold here. So bring forward folds, yeah, straddle. So if your spine doesn't land straight in this position and it rolls back a little bit, bend your knees to help lift your spine up. And then you can start to come forward. So we'll reach the arms up and then lengthen your spine with your hands, and then just letting the hands land. There's a few little crackles there, mine included. And then just find somewhere that feels good to land. So wherever you're feeling it, some of us will feel this here in the adductors. Some of it might feel it on the outer line of the legs, maybe in the lower back. You might feel that there's something in your hips like stopping you come forward. So just whatever you're feeling, just be with that. And be with that place in your body. You can send your breath towards that space. This is why alignment in practice is so important, because it allows us to work on the parts that are a little bit sticky and tight and stuck. Whereas when we bypass the alignment, by compensating with something else, we'll never reach into that space. So just really meeting your body where you are. Yes, and then slowly pressing into the hands to come back up. And we'll bring the legs in. And then this one's really nice. You can bring the hands behind you, roll the shoulders back, and then press your feet into the floor and lift your hips up. And then you can come back down from here. And then if you want to, you can try it again with like a figure 4. And then that's quite nice as well. It gives you a slightly different angle. And I also find that when you press the legs together, it can really help find a bit more height here. And then coming back down, other side. And again, with that strength as well, it creates the container for the hip to open. So when we mobilize and strengthen, the body will start to trust that strength in its new space. Great, coming down. We can do you can either come onto your back, or you can do the little, this thing, where you try and do it really strongly. Good. And then just whatever you need when you arrive, maybe you just need to like land, or maybe there's a little bit of movement that needs to happen here. Maybe some twists again, maybe some legs in the air, maybe a little shake with the legs. Maybe a little roll around with the wrist, just anything that feels good to land here in your body. Yeah, happy baby, Supta Baddha Konasana, all of those things. So we'll just take the next minute to yourself and your body, really feeling into any last little movements that your body might be calling you for. Anything that you might feel that has been missing from this practice today that your body really wants to do. It might help you access and release another little layer. This is how we start to build our self-practice, is just by listening and seeing where the body wants to go next. And then over the next few breaths, we'll start to make our way down towards a final resting position. So if anyone wants a bolster under their knees or maybe on their body, let me know. If anyone needs a blanket, let me know. And I'll bring those over to you. You're coming to arrive in this final shape that you've chosen to rest. And just acknowledging that that's not always an easy thing to do. So let's take a nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. One more of those. Inhale. Exhale. And then letting the breath come back to a natural rhythm. Just feeling into the echoes of your practice. moving towards a space of surrendering, acceptance. And allowing your body to be held by the ground beneath you. So noticing once more if there's any areas of resistance or tightness or holding in your body, and see if you can just allow them to soften a little bit more. Releasing the jaw, separating the back teeth, softening the tongue, the soft hollow of your throat, the chest and the shoulders. Softening the hips and the belly and the feet. And just trusting the inner wisdom of your body to guide you here through the next couple of minutes in stillness. Starting to bring your awareness back. Reconnecting with your breath. And starting to find some gentle movements in the body. The fingers and the feet. Maybe having a little stretch as you start to let those movements grow. And we'll take it from here onto one side, so just rolling over onto your chosen side. A final little moment here to pause. Just letting anything that isn't serving you right now, and just let it drift away onto your mat. And then support yourself as you come back to seated. And just finding a soft spine, either lowering the gaze or closing the eyes for a moment and staying within your inner space just for a couple more breaths. We'll bring the hands onto the heart space. And giving yourselves a moment of gratitude for carving this time out to move and be with your body today. I hope you have a gorgeous rest of the day, everyone. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. You're welcome. If you can give your mats a little spray as well, that would be really great. Thank you.